They serve as a crew member in a spacecraft. Also, astronaut work for human space flight programs, which are usually run by government, by military agencies or civilian space. Also, there are some private companies that schedule and organize commercial space flights. Astronauts perform many tasks. Orbiting, research into an orbit in a space. Who was the first human in space? Yuri Gagarin became the first human to go into space. In 1961, Gagarin flew around the Earth once in his spacecraft called Vostok L. This took nearly 2 hours. He then traveled back to Earth. And how did people get to the moon? In 1969, astronauts traveled to the moon in a spacecraft called Apollo. It was launched into space by a huge rocket. It took 3 days to get to the moon. Once there, the astronauts spent 2 hours exploring before flying back to Earth. First man to stand on the moon's surface was American astronaut Neil Armstrong, followed by Buzz Aldrin. Both men were part of the crew of Apollo LL. As well as both men explore before traveling back, and they men collected rocks to take back to Earth. Reason why astronauts wear spacesuits: protects astronauts when they go outside their spacecraft. Space is a dangerous place. There is no air in space. A spacesuit has supply of air for the astronaut to breathe. Also, the suit stops an astronaut from getting too cold or too hot. Jupiter is the biggest planet. It is 11 times as wide as the Earth. All the solar system would fit inside it. Jupiter is covered in swirls of red and orange gas. These are giant storms. Jupiter's Ganymede 3,273 miles. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. Its surface is hotter than the inside of an oven. Venus is covered in a blanket of thick yellow gas. The gases trap heat from the sun but don't let it escape. This means that Venus can't cool down. The surface of Venus is 880 degrees. Pluto is the coldest. It's farthest from the sun. The actual temperature at that point has not yet been measured because Pluto has not made a full orbit since it was discovered. It was discovered in 1930. Pluto will react the farthest point in its orbit in February 2114. At present, Pluto's surface temperature is 387 Fahrenheit 233 degrees, and it is slowly failing. Does Pluto have its own moon? Yes, it does. Pluto, a dwarf planet, has its own moon called Charon. Is half the size of Pluto and was Earth days to orbit around Pluto. Mars has the biggest volcano and tallest mountain in our solar system. Olympus Mons on Mars, rising 15 miles 24 kilometers above its base. It is 3 times higher than Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth. Olympus Mons has gently sloping sides like an upside down plate. Mars has many other volcanoes too. There are also giant canyons and craters. Saturn is surrounded by rings that shine brightly in the sunlight. The ring, made from millions and millions of lumps of ice. Some lumps are the size of ice cubes, others are as big as cars. Uranus is different to other planets. Most planets are almost upright. They spin as they move around the sun. Uranus is tipped right over on its side. This planet spins too, but it looks as though it is rolling around. It was discovered March 1781 by William Herschel. Neptune was discovered by Urban Leveille, John Couch, Adams, Johann Galle, and Heinrich d'Arrest. Neptune is covered in bright blue clouds. Sometimes there are streaky ice-white clouds too. One white cloud is called the scooter because it scoots Neptune at high speed. There is also a giant storm called the Great Dark Spot. Mercury is freezing cold and hot. It spins very slowly. That faces sun is baked until it is hotter than the inside of an oven. When this side faces away from the sun, it cools down until it is colder than a freezer. What is inside the Earth? There are layers of hot rock inside the Earth. We live on Earth's surface where the rock is solid beneath the surface. The rock is hot in some places. It has melted. This rock may leak from a volcano. Why do we have day and night? The Earth spins round once every day. Why is the sun spotty? Some parts of the sun's surface are cooler than the rest of it. These cooler parts appear darker than the rest of the sun-like spot on its surface. They are called sunspots. Which star keeps warm? The sun does. It is a star like all the others in the night sky, but in much closer to the Earth. The sun is a giant ball of hot, glowing gas, and it gives off heat that keeps the Earth warm. It also gives us light. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment.